The most frightening truth that many parents today do not dare to face is this: they themselves are unintentionally destroying their child's inner strength. Not society, not the environment, but their own excessive, overly warm protection, the kind that silently turns a child into someone weak from the roots. We are living in a strange era. Children take less responsibility each day, while parents take on more. Children don't want to do something. Parents do it for them. Children face a problem. Parents jump in to solve it. Children feel a little sad. Parents comfort them with food, toys, or a phone. Children feel a little tired. Parents say, "It's okay, don't do it, you're still young." But the scariest part is, children believe it, and parents believe it too. We are creating a generation that knows many things online, but cannot understand real life. A generation with quick reflexes, but extremely low endurance. A generation confident in talking, but trembling when doing. A generation protected so much that it no longer has the ability to stand on its own. Zeng Guofan, one of Asia's most profound family educators, once said a sentence that strikes directly into the heart of every parent. A child must taste hardship in order to become a person. He did not teach with softness. He did not teach with sweet, soothing words. He taught with truth. Life will never treat us the way our parents treat us. And therefore, if parents want their children to be truly happy in the future, they must be brave enough to not shield everything, not do everything on their behalf, not prevent them from experiencing necessary difficulties. Why? Because a child who has never faced small struggles will collapse when facing big ones. A child who has never been rejected will suffer deeply when rejected by life. A child who has never taken responsibility will be completely lost when forced to live independently. Looking at reality, we see the consequences clearly. Many young people grow up but cannot truly mature. They have diplomas but no life skills, knowledge but no courage, ambition but no endurance to follow through. It all begins with childhood years filled with excessive pampering. Zeng Guofan understood this more than a century ago, which is why he taught his children an iron principle. Never live lazily, never indulge while still young, and the wealthier the family, the more one must live frugally like the poor. Not because he was unreasonably strict, but because he understood this. If you want your child to be strong, you must let them become strong. No one grows strong in comfort. Today, many parents think loving a child means doing things for them. But the truth is the opposite. Real love is teaching your child to do things themselves, to take responsibility, to face failure, and to stand up after falling. That is why the foundation of Zeng Guofan's educational philosophy always revolves around one truth: fear that your child will suffer when young, and they will suffer 1,000 times more as adults. Conversely, dare to let your child experience the right hardships, and they will have the strength needed to live a truly happy life. That is the gift parents should leave for their children. Not money, not conditions, not protection, but inner strength. 1. The hardship of labor, the antidote for a lazy generation. If there is one kind of poverty most frightening today, it is the poverty of labor, the lack of ability to work, to manage oneself, and to take responsibility. And ironically, this kind of poverty appears most often in families that are not poor at all. Many parents today are afraid of letting their children do housework, afraid they'll get tired, afraid they'll feel sad, afraid they won't be as privileged as others, afraid their child will have it harder than the rest. But they don't understand that this fear is silently destroying their child's character day by day. A child who doesn't know how to hold a broom will find it hard to hold their own life later on. A child who cannot do small tasks will never handle big responsibilities. A child who has never broken a sweat will never understand the value of every dollar they spend. We are witnessing a young generation that finds folding a blanket difficult, complains about washing a cup, says their hands hurt when sweeping the floor, feels bullied when asked to help their parents a little. Meanwhile, they can use a phone for hours without getting tired. Play games for 3 hours straight without complaining. Stay up late scrolling online without feeling sleepy. Their strength hasn't weakened. Their will has been softened by indulgence. Zeng Guofan was extremely strict about this. He believed that a person's success or failure comes down to one word: diligence. Diligence in effort, diligence in work, diligence in moving forward rather than stepping back. He taught his children an iron principle. No one becomes poor because they work, but many become poor because they're lazy. Lazy people aren't without ability. They are without discipline, without persistence, without the spirit to overcome hardship. And these things don't appear naturally. They are forged through labor. Why did Zeng Guofan make his children work from a young age? Because he understood. Labor is not just about producing things. Labor shapes a person's character. When a child washes dishes, they learn responsibility. When they sweep the floor, they learn patience. When they help their parents cook, they learn gratitude. When they clean up their own mess, they learn cause and effect. And when they earn their first money through sweat, they learn to respect the labor of themselves and others. Many parents think, my child is still young. Let them study. Housework is for the parents. But do you know what you're truly teaching your child? You are teaching them that others will serve them. They don't need to try. Their role is only to receive. Responsibility belongs to adults. And later, when they really grow up, they will become the kind of adult even you fear. An adult who doesn't know what to do, doesn't know how to live, doesn't know where to start, doesn't know how to handle even the smallest responsibility in life. And at that point, parents can no longer help, even if they want to. Children don't need parents to do things for them. Children need parents to give them the opportunity to do things. Many children today are not incapable. They simply have never been required to do anything. Your child doesn't do it well yet? It's okay. Let them try again. Your child is slow? It's okay. Time is the best teacher. Your child is clumsy? It's okay. Everyone begins with clumsiness. But if parents never give their child the chance to start, the child will remain at the starting point forever. A child who doesn't know how to work is not at fault. It is the fault of how they were raised. A lazy child is not lazy by nature. They are lazy because their parents carried them too much. Zeng Guofan said, "The poorer the home, the easier it is for the child to succeed. The richer the home, the more easily the child fails." This is not about money. It is about attitude toward life. In a poor home, children must work, must strive, must experience hardship. In a comfortable home, children don't need to work, don't need to strive, don't need to endure. Over time, this difference in character becomes a deep chasm in the future. A child may not be gifted right now. They may not be outstanding right now. But as long as they know how to work and how to train themselves, their future will be wider than anything their parents can buy with money. Labor does not make a child suffer. Labor makes a child strong. And in life, strength is more important than talent. Character is more important than degrees. Inner strength is more important than privilege. If you love your child, give them the chance to become strong. 2. The hardship of reading, the foundation of wisdom and character. Among the 3 types of hardships Zeng Guofan taught his children to endure, the hardship of reading is the most silent, but the most decisive. It makes no noise, produces no sweat, and offers no instant result. Yet it is the very thing that quietly builds the depth of a human being. Today, nothing is easier than making a child not want to read. No need to forbid, no need to force. Just hand them a phone. A bright screen will win over a silent page. Lively sounds will win over still words. Instant entertainment will win over patience and focus. And so children grow up, but their minds do not. We've become too familiar with children who can sit for hours watching meaningless videos. Yet after just 5 minutes with a book, they sigh, stand up, and complain. This is boring. This is hard. I don't get it. But think about it. If a child feels that reading 1 page is already too hard, then when they grow up, can they handle the real hardships of life? Or will they quit just as they quit a book? Reading is not just about learning knowledge. Reading is about training the will. Zeng Guofan once instructed his children, "If you don't understand today, read again tomorrow. If you don't understand this year, read again next year. Only those who persist with books will know how to persist with life." Reading teaches children 3 things no school ever can. 1. Reading trains focus, something today's generation desperately lacks. Children today are not lacking intelligence. They are lacking the ability to keep their mind on one thing. A page of a book forces a child to slow down, think, visualize, and listen to their own thoughts. There are no transitions, no exciting sounds, no dancing images, only words and the child's mind. And it is precisely this simplicity that produces wisdom. A child who does not read is a child who does not know how to be alone with their thoughts. Later in life, when pressure comes, they will run instead of facing it. 2. Reading builds depth of thinking, something social media is robbing from children's mind. Children today absorb information quickly, but superficially. They prefer summaries. They want main points. They want explained in 30 seconds. They want tips, hacks, and shortcuts. But life has no shortcuts. Real life requires analysis, reflection, connection. These come only when a child learns to dig deep, and digging deep begins with every page of a book. Books teach children to think before speaking, to understand before concluding, to listen before reacting. Without reading, children become easily provoked, easily misled, easily manipulated by the noise around them. 3. Reading creates vision, the very thing that shapes a child's future. A child who doesn't read only knows what they see. A child who reads knows what millions of people around the world have learned, experienced, thought, suffered, and overcome. Books are the bridge to humanity's collective wisdom. Books turn a small room into an entire world. Books turn an ordinary life into a profound one. Without reading, a child grows in age. With reading, a child grows in awareness. But the saddest reality is this. Many parents say, "You must study well," but never teach their children the habit of reading, the root of studying well. Many parents say, "You must have a good future," but let their children stare at screens more than at pages. Many parents buy expensive things for their children, but cannot afford the time to sit beside them with a book. Parents do not understand this truth. A child may lose to others in material conditions, but if they surpass them in knowledge and depth, they will go far. Conversely, a child who has every advantage yet lacks wisdom will soon be left behind by life. Reading is not for children to be better than others. Reading is for children to be better than themselves each day. The day a child chooses to pick up a book instead of a phone is the day they take their first step out of a shallow life and begin entering a life of depth. Reading is hardship, but it is this very hardship that sharpens the mind, deepens the heart, and strengthens the spirit against life's storms. And that is the gift the wisest parents teach their children from the very beginning. Number 3, the hardship of life. Among the 3 types of hardships a child must experience, the hardship of life is the hardest to teach, yet the most important. Why? Because the hardship of labor has parents guiding. The hardship of reading can be enforced. But the hardship of life, real collisions, real shortcomings, real wounds, no one can take on behalf of the child, and no one can shield them from forever. The problem is, many parents today are so afraid of letting their child experience hardship that they try to turn the child's childhood into a 5-star hotel. Whatever the child wants, they give. Whatever the child likes, they buy. Whatever the child dislikes, they remove. Whatever makes the child sad, they avoid. The child has never lacked, so they do not know how to cherish. The child has never been rejected, so they do not know patience. The child has never been broken, so they do not know how to stand up. We are raising children who live like honored guests in their own homes. Parents serve, grandparents indulge, society flatters. But life does not. Life does not give toys when you cry. Life does not buy a new phone when you're sad. Life does not compromise when you're angry. Life does not apologize first. Life teaches through pain, through failure, through lack, through the very things parents are working so hard to shield their children from. The painful paradox. The more parents fear their child's suffering, the weaker the child becomes. There are families poor in money, yet their children live like the rich. There are families just getting by, yet their child uses a newer phone than the parents. There are families struggling month to month, yet their children live in conditions not worse than their friends. Many parents are sacrificing too much, not to make their child better, but simply to make their child equal to others. But they do not realize hardship creates character. Excess comfort creates illusion. The child believes life will indulge them like their parents do. But life indulges no one. Zeng Guofan always emphasized, the richer the family, the more the child must live like the poor. The higher the parent's status, the more the child must be humble like common people. He taught his children to understand something many adults today have forgotten. Hardship does not kill a child. Hardship makes them stronger. Excess comfort, however, kills character. A child who gets everything will develop thoughts like, I deserve this. I don't need to try. I only need to ask to receive. And then as they grow up, they are disappointed to learn life is not like that. They fear difficulty, fear effort, fear pressure, fear competition, fear stepping outside the tiny safety bubble their parents built. They are used to receiving, but not giving, used to enjoying, but not understanding effort, used to abundance, but not gratitude. Over time, this artificial abundance erodes their spirit, turning them into adults who are hollow inside. A child who never suffers becomes an adult who cannot tolerate pain. A child who never lacks becomes an adult who does not know gratitude. A child who has never failed becomes an adult who collapses when life turns its back. The hardship of life is not about beating or punishing a child. It is about letting the child learn that the world does not operate according to their wishes. Letting them understand that sometimes they want but do not get. They try but still fail. They behave well but still get hurt. They work hard but receive no recognition. This is not injustice. This is real life. And the role of parents is not to remove all these realities. The role of parents is to give the child the strength to face them. Strength does not come from advice, does not come from ease, does not come from protection. Strength comes from the very hardships many parents are trying to avoid for their children. Hardship in the right measure makes a child strong. Hardship in the right way makes them mature. Hardship, when needed, makes them grateful. No one grows in comfort. People grow only in challenge. And the hardship of life, even if parents wish otherwise, is the irreplaceable gift that allows a child to become someone strong enough to live a truly happy life. After all, what makes a child truly strong is not how many times parents have protected them, but what the child has learned from the falls parents allowed them to stand up from on their own. The world out there is not as soft as a parent's hands. Life is not as sweet as comforting words. Society does not operate according to the wishes of a pampered child. And one day, the child must step out of the family's embrace. No matter how much parents love them, no matter how much they have, no matter how sheltered they've been, life will ask only one question. Are you strong enough? Not whether you are beautiful or not. Not what degree you have. Not whether your family is wealthy or poor. Not who your parents are. Life only asks, can you stand firm? And for a child to stand firm, parents must courageously give them the 3 types of hardships. Zeng Guofan taught more than a century ago. The hardship of labor, so the child learns to create value. The hardship of reading, so the child learns to think with their own mind. The hardship of life, so the child learns to take responsibility for their path. These 3 hardships are like 3 foundational stones that build a truly mature human being. Without labor, the hands grow weak. Without reading, the mind grows weak. Without life experience, the heart grows weak. A person weak in all 3, no matter how many advantages they have, no matter how beautiful their starting point, will struggle to go far. But a child who knows how to endure hardship the right way, even starting from 0, can rise to fill their own sky. Parents cannot follow their child for a lifetime, cannot stand in front of every storm, cannot carry every pain on their behalf. But parents can do one thing: give their child legs strong enough to walk through storms and a heart resilient enough not to be swept away. This is not teaching dependence. This is teaching independence. This is not hurting the child. This is helping them avoid being hurt when real life strikes. This is not making them suffer. This is protecting them from suffering for the rest of their lives. A strong, resilient adult is the greatest gift a parent can give. Not money, not property, not privileges equal to others, but inner strength, something no one can take away. Inner strength to stand up after failure. Inner strength to survive the darkest days. Inner strength to stay unbroken when everything collapses. Inner strength to remain ethical, kind, and steadfast. Wise parents do not create an easy childhood. Wise parents create a childhood full of lessons that make a lifetime unafraid of hardship. Remember this: no child becomes spoiled from suffering, only from having too much. And finally, If you want to continue learning more profound lessons on parenting, philosophies that touch every family, every child, every generation, subscribe to the channel now. Not for the numbers, but so we can build together a generation that is strong, resilient, and full of inner strength. Children who not only survive life, but have the power to live well and live beautifully. Thank you for listening until the end. See you in the next lesson.